Hey everybody, Rune the Gaming Dad from the ARK Trade Federation, and today we're on ARK Official PVE, the island map, and we're showing you how to get the artifact of the Massive. It's one of the more medium caves. It can be tricky if you've never done it. We're going to try to do it solo, which is difficult at times, but let's give it a go. So here we are on the island, and we're on the southeast portion of the map. We'll pull up the map here so you can see exactly where we're at. So if you see that peninsula there, you can see Herbivore Island at the very bottom of the map there, but there's a little peninsula there. Right where the arrow's pointing, that's where you want to be to find the artifact of the Massive Cave. So we'll hop on the Wyvern here. Try to get you a little bit better view. You can see Herbivore Island out there in the distance. You can see this kind of giant crater. We'll get a little higher so you can get a better vantage point. That giant crater, and then off to the right there at the bottom is the entrance to the cave for the artifact of the Massive. And we'll land the Wyvern here and get set to go in. We're going to put this bad boy on neutral just in case something decides to attack it. And we'll throw out our Sabertooth and gear up and get ready. So some of the things you want to take in with you is a good shotgun. If you don't have that, a good long neck. The second thing you're going to need is a sword. And the third thing you'll need is a crossbow with grappling hooks. If you've never done the cave before, I suggest bringing probably 10. Always bring food and water. We have super food and super water for us here to take with us. And then the third thing, and I think it's on the Wyvern. Let me get the Sabertooth out of the way. Is sleeping bags. So you want to place those down. Just in case you have a problem inside the cave, you don't respawn back at your base. You do respawn at least outside of the cave and give yourself a chance to get to your body. We're going to put one of the cryopods back on here just in case we have a problem. All right, so we're going to hop on the Sabertooth. We're going to head in. This is what's called the lava cave. So it is a warm cave. A lot of the caves on the island are cold. And we should, once we get in, there we go. So you always want to adjust your gamma settings so you can see what's going on in this cave. See, that's what it looks like when your gamma settings aren't right. So as we go in here, the first little split you're going to see is all these crystals here. Once you get to those crystals, you're going to want to hang a right. And once you make that right, you're going to see kind of some lava flowing there. And then you want to go right again to this opening. And you can see there's our first set of dinos that are going to try and come and kill us. So what's in this cave is bats, spiders, dillos, scorpions. The one thing this doesn't have that I've ever seen is an Arthropleura that can take away your armor. So this is why you bring the sword. As we get the dillo spit on us, we got a problem. So we're going to take out the sword, and since you're mounted on the Sabertooth, you can use your weapons, obviously. And you're just going to let those bats fly around and just whack them with the sword. Dillo spits on us again, so we're going to use the Sabertooth to kill that guy. Come on. Let's get rid of the poison in the eyes here. There we go, and there's one more Dillo. So, judging by the fact that I've seen a lot of dinos early on in this cave means that this cave hasn't been run in a little while. So I think we're going to run into a lot of enemies. So you can see here's our second set already. There's our spiders coming in. Again, being mounted and using a weapon helps just to kind of get you started. But the Sabertooth, this one has about 4,000 health, about 400% melee, so it's not overpowered by any means, but it does do the job, and here comes more of the bats. So one thing you can bring with you is a gas mask. If that will help you from getting mega rabies from some of these bats. We decided not to bring one here, or I decided not to bring one here. It can be problematic, and if we get it, my character has about 400 health, so it should not be a problem, even if we contract mega rabies. If you come with another player, make sure if you get it, you stay away, because it is contagious, and it will just keep cycling over and over. And here comes our next set of baddies. The Sabertooth is great also because it has a high torpor, so it takes a lot for it to get knocked out, so you're going to run into a lot of these enemies, like I said. The fact that I see all of these enemies leads me to believe that this cave hasn't been run in quite some time. Because it looks like we're getting the full gamut of all of these enemies. Let's get rid of those guys here. Okay, so you can see this lava flow in front of us here. There's two ways to go. We're going to hang a right again. So you can see there's bats down there, and I don't know just don't think they're coming. I don't think they are. For some reason, the shotgun's not reaching. That's okay. If we can steer clear of them, we're okay. Because the more bats you run into, the better chance you have of getting mega rabies. Unless you're wearing a gas mask and you have an antidote with you, if you get it, that will obviously take care of it. But we're going to swing around here, just swing around, see if we can't. And here we are with another set of bats. So swords out, ready to go, and here come the bats. And they're coming from the back and the front. So here we go. Now your Sabertooth's going to take a beating. Or your Dino's going to take a beating with this many bats. But as you can see, we're kind of slicing through them pretty good, but there is a lot, and it keeps pushing the Sabertooth back and back and back. Be very careful that you don't get backed up off of a cliff into the lava. That's what I'm kind of afraid of right now. Good Lord, they are everywhere. And we're just whacking away. So if you're taking primitive weapons, as I try to fend off what it seems like a million bats here, if you bring primitive versions of these weapons, make sure you bring multiples of them, because you will run out of durability as much as you use it. Holy cow, yeah, it's a party now. So our Sabertooth's taking quite the beating, but I think this won't be a problem. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this cave definitely has been run in forever, because they are everywhere. Yeah, we're going to have to take some time to kind of force heal this Sabertooth when we're done with this little group. Oh my gosh. So if you run this cave on foot, expect to see this. If you're running this on single player and you're going in alone, just be aware that this kind of stuff can happen. There is a danger if you bring multiple dinos. I have another Sabertooth in a pod just in case I have a problem. But let me tell you, those cliffs or those lava flows, if you have dinos on follow, they will jump right off of that cliff into the lava. So we're going to force heal this dino right now, and we'll be back after this thing gets healed up. All right, so here we go. Got our Saber Kitty force fed raw meat, and I think we're going to be pretty close to good to go here. So let's just finish it off. And there we go. All right, so now back to where we started. We're making that right. And you can see these crystals here. This is where we ran into all those bats and all those problems. You're going to see a split here. There's a drop off to your left. You can see the blue one. We're going to hang a right and be very careful because this is pretty narrow. And, of course, there's more bats. The fact that we haven't gotten mega rabies yet is kind of a shock with the amount that we've had. But let's see if we can't bring them in here and finish them off. There we go. There's one dead. My goodness, there's a lot of bats. Here they come. Just whip out the sword, whack away. And this is a lot of enemies. So you can see how difficult this cave can be if you try to do it solo. Let's reload just in case. You can bring health brews with you, so if you do contract mega rabies, having health brews with you will help. But hopefully we won't run into that problem. So as we skirt this little edge here, there's a split where you can go either way. It doesn't matter which way you take because it's leading to the same place. And this is where people can have a couple different options and way to go. And this is part of the reason why I choose a Sabertooth. So up here ahead is the first what we call jump of this cave, where you have to jump over a chasm to get to the other side. I don't want that in my life. So I choose to just jump off the edge here with the Sabertooth. The Sabertooth does not take a lot of fall damage. It's got to fall a long way to take fall damage. So we're just going to run off of this cliff. We're not going to jump. We're going to run. So we've run into that problem before. You can see those ruins right below you. That's where you're aiming at. And you're just going to accelerate. You're not going to jump. So we're just going to accelerate using the shift key and let them fall down. And you can see it doesn't take a lot of fall damage. And then we're going to whip out the sword again and whack these bats that are down here. Again, be careful. These bats do not push you, or any dinos that push you into the lava. Let's make sure we've got Delos around here too. Again, no dino in this cave is basically super powerful enough to really give you problems if you're a good player. But the amount of them, as you can see early on, we got our first Explorer note. There are Explorer notes in these caves too. Kill these Dillos so we don't have problems on the way back. Come on. Again, not difficult, but more annoying than anything. Okay, so we made it to these ruins. Oh my goodness, there's another one. Okay, so we've jumped down, and there's the ruins. You can see a way back up there. We're just going to make a left, and there's more bats. Goodness. to us, and it's not going to happen. There we go. All right, finally, we had to use the sword. And we'll reload and keep going. So, as we move along this little pathway here, of course, we're going to run into some more enemies, per usual with this cave. And you're going to run into these crystals. And they're nice waypoint finders, so you can see that's the way back, this is the way we're going. And I think, there you go. And we're going to want to make a left. To our right is a drop. That's one thing you can get inside the cave if you'd like, but we're going to hang a left. And my assumption is we're going to run into more. Yes, sir, here they come. So this is probably the last wave. If you choose this path to go, this is probably the last wave of enemies that you're going to face. The artifact is extremely close to where we're at right now. And as you can see, here they come. All right. Moving on to the next. Don't know if that shotgun's going to make it around. Try here. There we go. That got him coming. Here they come. We'll whip out the sword here and just start whacking away. My goodness, so many bats. But just keep using that sword. And I'm kind of surprised that we haven't, with this many bats, contracted mega rabies yet. I'm really surprised. And our saber tooth is moving slow because it's got too much stuff in it. So let's get rid of some of this. There we go. We don't need any of these resources per se. Okay. So you can see here the artifact just glowing. Hello! They keep on coming. And more bats. Here they come. My gosh. You can see the challenge of this cave, even for a low-level player. I'll try to get rid of this stuff before I whip out the sword. You can see the saber-tooth just barely can't reach these bats. He hits them every once in a while when they dive bomb down low. I'm trying to get rid of all these little guys first before we move on to the end. Now we've contracted highly contagious mega rabies. It was bound to happen with this many bats. So you can see you've got 80 seconds worth of this to go. If you've got health brews, it will take care of it. Not take care of it, but it'll help you in the long run. So let me show you what mega rabies does. So it drains your health and your stam, and it will do it over that period of time. So if you don't have a high health into your character and you contract mega rabies, the chances are you're going to die. So with the health of my character, I can't imagine that we're going to have a problem, but we're just going to kind of let this timer run down, run down, run down. Again, if you're near another player, they will contract it as well. And then, as soon as you get rid of yours and you're near the other player, you're going to get it again. So let's just get ourselves into position here while we have this, because I don't foresee us dying. We only got 30 seconds left. So, and here's another enemy. Goodness. The hits keep on coming. Kicking a guy while he's down. Apparently he's moving off. Doesn't want to deal with this. So this is the tricky part of the cave. I mean, this cave's been fairly challenging thus far. However, the part that's coming up requires some precision. There we go. Goodbye. Okay. So you're going to want to get up on this rock. And if you put your dino up on the rock, it helps. Just so it stays out of the way, as long as you clear it out. But you can see there's scorpions in the background. You can see the artifact back there in the corner. Now that our mega rabies is over, we're going to eat our food here. Okay. So what you can do is shoot some of these enemies that are across the way, and they tends to draw them in, and they tend to fall into lava and die. So I'm going to put this dino on passive, so it doesn't get a little rambunctious and jump into the lava. Let's kill these guys. There we go. And the lava will do quite a lot of damage to these dinos that are jumping across. As long as you don't run into the bats coming across, which seems to be the case in this run through the cave. But I think we've gotten everything. So now we're going to take a peek. I don't see any dinos over there that are going to kill us. Might find a random dillo. And now we're going to pull out our grapple hook. And all you got to do is grapple over, grab the artifact, and grapple back. So we're just going to launch it against the wall there. Get our health up just in case we got a problem. Reload just in case we have a problem. All right, here we go. So now we launch it across. We hold down the left click button on your mouse and it just reels you over. And I don't see any baddies. And our saber-tooth decided to follow. Woo-hoo! Wow, that was lucky. So we're going to turn him off a follow. Wow. Normally when your dino gets into that lava somehow, some way, it is imminent death. I don't know how that happened. It must have jumped its way across, which is amazing. But we're going to make sure we don't have that problem and pod this guy up. Okay, we've got the artifact. Now all we've got to do is grapple back. Make sure you grapple high enough that you don't fall down into the lava as you reel in. Just going to reel ourselves right back onto the rock. And disconnect. We hit C to disconnect. We're going to throw out a dino. Jump on. Now the way back obviously should be much easier considering we killed a lot of dinos along the way. So we're going to find those crystals. We're going to hang a right. And that will take us all the way back to the ruins to where we're at. Now, you can't take this pathway to the left where those bats are, and you should be able to make it up with a saber-tooth. But we're going to play it safe. We're going to pod this dino up. And then we're going to use one of our last grapple hooks to grapple all the way back up. And then throw back up the dino and leave the cave. So this is a precision shot. So see those crystals? That's kind of your aiming point. You're going to want to aim just above those. And that'll hit the wall. And then you just reel yourself up. And when you get up to the top, you just hit C to cut, like so, and land. There is a chance that there will be dinos that have respawned if you take too long in this cave. Just be prepared. But we're just going to head out. Now be careful when you get to this point because that is that ledge. So just don't get over anxious and try to get out of the cave as quick as you can. You got to skirt this edge. That's kind of your last uh-oh moment. And now we're going to hang a left and make our way out of the cave. There's one bat laying around. I think we'll outrun him. And that is the artifact of the massive cave. Again, it's just lefts and up, making lefts and going up all the way up until you reach the entrance to the cave. So a lot of dinos in there, can be difficult to do solo, but there's just a way to do it. Just wanted to say thanks for watching. Please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel. We enjoy doing videos for you, and the more subscribers we have, the more fun it is to do. So with that, we will see you on the next video.